Hi everybody, it's Maida, and I am doing another traditional drawing video since I haven't done them recently. I did Taya recently, but I was like, I should do another one. And if anyone saw on my Instagram page the first Draw This in Your Style challenge that I participated in, I posted that a couple days ago. And so now I was inspired to do some more because I haven't been as productive as I need to be. But the next one I'm going to do is this one. I'm sure it's hard to see, but it's Maizuik on Instagram, and I'll have, the appropriate hashtags and whatever in the video description. But what I'm going to try to do today in this video is I'm going to try and keep as much of it in real time as possible. I know I get pretty boring to listen to because I stop talking, but I will try my best to keep talking. And what I'm going to be using today are, if I could reach it, probably this fine liner. These are really old, by the way. I've had these since high school, hence why my goal this year is to use up all of my traditional art supplies. So, yeah, starting with the cheap Artist Loft brand stuff, and also my cheap Crayolas, which I have here. So that's what I'm going to be working with today. Yeah, that looks like everything that I need so far. And I'll probably be grabbing this stuff later on, but first, I am going to go ahead and line my sketch. You can barely see it. Oh, sorry. Go back to that page. I have a bunch of these saved so that I am prepared. And I just kind of unsave them when I'm done. If I did them, I've only done one so far. Oh, and this character is named Anubis, I believe. Am I? Oh my gosh, does she have cat paws? I didn't notice that before. Okay. Would be to... I think she still has thumbs, though. It's hard to tell. Okay, long... Yeah, because anthros have opposable thumbs usually. Not that I draw anthros. I really like this character's hair. This lady I work with at my new job, her hair is similar to this. Her hair isn't black or anything, and it's definitely not this long. But she has the same thing going on with straight bangs and long, sleek hair. Makes me jealous because my hair is not sleek, though it is long. Well, it's getting long for my wedding. And just to explain, I do the lines first in a smaller size, and then after I erase the sketch lines, I have to go in with again with a bigger sized thing because hold on, I can explain. Oh, because when you erase, it kind of like lifts off some of the paper and also some of the pigment from the ink, from the initial ink lines. So yeah, so that's why I usually have to go back in again with a second time after I erase the sketch lines. So usually I don't put that much effort in the first go around. But I don't know, it could also have to do with the texture of this paper. It says it's for dry media, so I don't think you're really supposed to be using pens on it. But that's okay. But yeah, plus this paper is fairly textured. Which I'm sure is very damaging to the ink pens. Why'd I even make that line? I didn't have to. Oh well. I was kind of interested in drawing an eye, and maybe I will, but I also worry I might be disrespecting the character. Don't want to disrespect nobody's character. Yeah, what if she doesn't even have eyes? I'm just gonna do the welcoming cat eyes. I forgot what that cat's called. The one that waves at you with its paw. Actually, sometimes its eyes are wide open, but I've seen it both ways, and I didn't have to put that much effort in the eyelashes because it's just gonna get erased. And I'm still working on the eyelashes even though I just said that. It's okay. Oh, okay, I'm gonna have to pause the audio here. Okay, so eventually when I go back and edit that, I'm either gonna add more of me talking, or I am going to add like elevator music. But yeah, I just had to answer a phone call. Important phone call from someone who calls me every day. But yep, just going at this drawing still. But the thing about, I don't think I did that foot right, but that's okay. The reason I decided to try and go at this like real time is just because I know it is quite a bit faster drawing traditionally, but it also has to do with the fact that I'm not capable of adding as much detail as I could on a digital art program. Just due to my own limitations in traditional art. Oh, I see what I did wrong. Wait, yeah. So this is supposed to be a small toe, and the big toe is supposed to be right here. Okay, it doesn't matter now. Most of that's gonna be black anyway. But going back here. I'm gonna try something on this try something different on this because I can. Because that's what I'm gonna do. But oh gosh, I didn't draw her tail yet. Okay. The tail, I'm just gonna imagine the tail is behind the hair, because the hair split, and then this, well, I'm not gonna worry about it too much, but the side of this hair should be longer considering how long this side is, but that's okay. Okay, wait, tail, duh. Now I kind of wonder if I should have the tail going this way, but let me look at it on. Nah, I like it on this side. I'm gonna guess this character counts as a furry. Usually I just consider these types of characters like Neko, Mimi. But I think Neko Mimi would just be the ears and tails. I think once it has more animal parts than that, it becomes a furry, maybe. Or maybe furries include Neko Mimi and other kimono Mimi. I think the word is... wait, I think the word is kimono Mimi. I think if I had used thicker paper, I would have done the hair and just like with my pen and ink. But actually, I think my inkwell is dried up. Again, this eraser is like a decade old, probably. So I'm sure it's easy for erasers to get used up, especially the old ones. They're kind of already deteriorating. Ooh, is this... have I been lining with my 5 the whole time? I thought I was using the 3. Ooh, this liners are actually pretty dry. Anyway, but I'm trying to remember my usual method for lining art. Because as it is right now, the lines are kind of... they're not pretty. Although I guess it doesn't matter too much since a lot of this is just gonna be black. It's like 80%. 80% black. One second, guys. Okay, so in the end I did decide to cut things up and you know, time-lapse a few parts because I wasn't gonna subject you guys to an 1.5 hour long video. I mean, I realize you all have the option to cut it or to even play it at like twice the speed, 4 times the speed, 8 times the speed, I think, unless YouTube removed that option. I know that used to be an option, but yeah, so I'm gonna see what I can keep. Like, once I'm done recording, I'm just gonna keep cut out clips here and there, and we'll see how short I can get it, with it, most of it still being in real time. But just so you all know, this drawing did take me about 1 hour and 40 minutes. So yeah, I don't know, just think about that the next time you see someone's drawing. They probably put at least 1 hour into that. Like, as you can see, it's probably not the most detailed drawing, which makes sense because I did only spend 1 hour on it. But yeah, probably could have had something just as decent in about 30 minutes had I decided to do it digitally, maybe. I don't know. Actually, the line art part in digital takes an extremely long time. And I explained this later in the video, but I'm gonna do a little bit of talking here too. I did decide that since this character had gold jewelry, and since I just found my gold Sharpies, I decided to use my gold Sharpie to color in, you know, the jewelry on this character. because it covers really well, even over black. So, and I said to Aiden on the phone too, like, I should get myself a buttload of these metallic Sharpie colors because they are amazing. But again, I've restricted myself to use only my own traditional art supplies since I have so many and I don't even use them. So the goal right now is to use up everything I have before going out and buying more things, which I already failed on doing because I did go out and buy a couple of markers during the new year. Because of sales. And right there, I'm just admiring the glow of the shiny metal color. Or the shine. Actually, it's not, it doesn't glow. It shines, because I guess there's a difference. Oh, and right here, again, I explained this a little bit later, but I might just cut it out. But I am making sure that the gold Sharpie, well, actually right there I was making sure those were the skin colors that I wanted, which they are. But I was also testing if the gold Sharpie would cover up I was testing if the gold Sharpie pigment would show up over the black colored pencils, which it does. Yeah, and so right now I'm going in with a brown color for the shadows. And it's more like a secondary shadow. It's not the final shadow because I go back in again later with a darker brown to add contrast. But that's kind of how I start, is with the less dark shadow, just so I know, like, just so I know ahead of time where my light source is, I guess. And right now, I don't actually use the tan all that much, but I decided it was a nice saturated color, and so I would use it for the cheeks, shoulders, and the knees, just to brighten up the character slightly. And so right now I'm adding this shadow tone on both sides of the thighs, even though there's a light source which dictates that the light is coming from the left-hand side. The reason to add a little bit of shadow on both sides is so that we understand that the form is super round and 3D, so it's more like a top, so the light source is more like top down from the left. But yeah, just so the thighs look extra thick, I guess. And again, the color that I'm using for her skin is taupe, and I'm using a combination of brown, taupe, dark brown, and then a little bit of tan. Maybe I can send it to this person, because I'm really proud of this drawing, to be honest. And like, obviously I can't sell prints of it, because it's not my character or anything. I'm not trying to disrespect an artist like that. But yeah, this is really, it's really pretty. I'm glad I decided to draw this character. I'm really happy people are doing draw this. I realize draw this in your style is kind of an old thing, I guess. But since I wasn't super active on Instagram until recently, especially in the art community. I didn't really know it was such a big thing, but it's really fun. Like, I enjoy it. I like seeing what the kinds of characters that are available to be drawn. And yeah, that's pretty much it so far. As you can see, I'm coloring the skin now, and I used tan, taupe, did I use brown? Regular brown. I'm gonna go back with dark and dark brown to add the darker shading, but I'll do that on top of all of this. Okay, so rather than subject you guys to another 30 minutes of me just coloring quietly, I'm just gonna speed things up and we're just gonna talk over it. But yeah, so this is, I haven't done traditional art in a long time, you know, minus the Teo one. Specifically, I haven't done the colored pencil bit because before I wanted to try using my markers, which are, I prefer way more than to colored pencils, sort of, because I like how skin looks with colored pencils. But, and then especially using Crayola colored pencils, it really doesn't get enough pigment on the paper. It's more waxy than what I'd like, but I want to get rid of my, I want to just bust out all of my art materials, and I want to start with, you know, the stuff that I don't use as much, because what's the point in holding on to something you're not going to use? So that's why I decided to use colored pencil for until I run out, which doesn't seem to be anytime soon because I haven't even had to sharpen any of these pencils. But it makes sense since this is only the second colored pencil drawing I've done this year. But yeah, so, and then I specifically use colored pencil for her hair and arms and legs, so that the black ink doesn't blend all together, because that was something that I didn't like. Potentially I could have used my white gel pen to delineate where things were, but that's something I'll probably do next time. I really like the look of the gold Sharpie on this, I gotta say. And now I'm almost done with the image. So let me know what you guys think of it in the comments. The full image can be found on Instagram. And maybe after I've done a bunch of these, I'll compile all the Draw This in Your Style posts into one. Again, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye.